Hi guys, I'm Tanya.
I'm Anthony.
And this is Karma's a Stitch. We have got new subscribers, like several new subscribers.
Really?
Yeah. So welcome so much. We had a few other podcasters mention our cast on party on Saturday.
Really?
And so I'm
awesome.
sure that that's where several folks came from. So thank you, Denise, and thank you so much, Mandy, for mentioning our cast on party. We had so much fun. So I do want to take a minute to say welcome to all the new folks.
Nice.
And
so I know that you were going to bring this up later on in the video.
Yeah.
But didn't you say that you're going to have another cast on party?
Yes. Yep. Okay. I did. And we're going to talk about that later on when I'm talking about activities.
Okay.
Yep. So welcome, and welcome back to everybody who has been a regular viewer and watched us from the beginning. We are a small YouTube channel. We love the community, which is basically the reason we started this channel, was for the sense of community. And this might be a long one, so get yourself
nice and comfy. Something
to drink, something to knit, because I have a bit to show you. Where you can find us, I am on Instagram as Karma's a Stitch.
Yeah, you can finish, but
yeah, I just remembered something else I wanted to make sure I talked about. You can reach me or find me on Ravelry as 76Karma, as well as reaching out via email, which is Tanya@karmasastitch.com.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can Instagram, Ravelry, and email. I try really hard to keep my Ravelry pages somewhat up to date. That's where I find a lot of my projects. And Instagram, there's lots of people that are a lot more active on Instagram. I maybe have a post a week. But you can absolutely, I'm on Instagram because everybody that posts regularly, I love looking at what they're posting regularly.
I was checking out the Karma's a Stitch page, and I like how you post what video we just uploaded or.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't do it every time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
I wish I was that good.
I think it was the 17th video. Yeah, the 17th episode.
Yeah.
And then I think it went all the way up to the 27th.
No, we're only on episode 25 today.
Yeah, I know, but it went it jumped from the 17th to the 27th.
I had a big gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't do it every week.
No, I don't post on Instagram nearly as often as I would, but I do it when it occurs to me, and that's what my Instagram's for. We do put a scripture at the beginning of each episode. To this week's the scripture for this week
is Romans 1:14?
16.
Romans 1:16.
Yep. And
I like this one.
It's a good one.
It's a really good one.
And I'll put that up at the end of the episode. So we're going to start with my new stuff. And you guys, like I said, this might be a very long-winded episode. I have a few new acquisitions. We had a trunk show at we have two yarn shops that are local to me. And there was a trunk show at one, and I went. And I have decided I really don't need any more fingering weight yarn. I really don't need any more yarn, truly. But we did have our cast on party
You're finally realizing this.
I've realized that for a long time, but it hasn't stopped me. We had our cast on party last Saturday, and I was pulling up. I had no idea what I was going to cast on. I knew I wasn't going to cast on any shawls. The chances of me casting on socks were slim. But other than that, I didn't know what I was going to cast on. So I was pulling up projects from my favorites and in my library, and a lot of the stuff that I've saved in my Ravelry favorites is DK weight yarn. And I didn't have any DK weight yarn. I couldn't cast on any of those projects. So I told myself, okay, I'm going to go to this trunk show and I'm looking for DK weight. If I can find some DK weight that I just fall in love with, I'm in. She had this color. It was called Cabernet, and it was gorgeous. I mean, it was like the deepest of blood red with black in it. It was gorgeous. And she had it in 2 of her bases, but she didn't have it in DK weight. So I passed by the yarn, like walked around the table twice, walked by her other display, and nothing. But I did get,
just brief.
no, that's not it. I did get,
I think Delilah has that exact tattoo.
This little canvas bag.
I'm working on my PhD.
I thought that was very appropriate.
What is the progress have to?
Projects
Or
have
project.
Yep. So I got that, and I found a little tape measure that had a crochet cat around it. I got that from
use
Alex.
that really quick. I'm working on my PhD.
Yeah, projects half done.
Project, because this is PhD.
So that's what I did at one of the shops. Now at the other yarn shop that I go to, which is a little further away, totally worth the drive. You don't even think about it. I mean, it's just a wonderful shop. And you walk in, and one of our viewers was there, and I don't know if she wants
That is
me.
awesome.
I don't know if she wants me to use her name, so I'm not going to. But she's one of those women. I was going in for needles. Okay, I needed some needles, and she's one of these women that you could sit there and listen to her and talk with her, and you don't realize how much time has passed. I mean, she is such a joy to visit with. And she was talking about, the history of knitting, and she says, Elizabeth Zimmerman, and I'm like, gosh, I should know that name. And she starts giving me the history on Elizabeth Zimmerman and her family and just the history, right? And that
sounds kind of familiar.
Right. So, and she's like, these books, and I've read all of her books, and I was like, oh, I've never seen any. I get home and I'm going through my stuff, and I have one of her books. I got it from a girlfriend of mine at Christmas time. So I do have one of her books.
Oh, is she like the author?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Well,
so I'm
what's
so
her name?
excited.
Wait, so the author of an amazing...
No. The woman that was at the yarn shop was telling me about the author of this book.
Okay.
The author of this book was not sitting in the yarn shop.
Okay.
Yeah, Elizabeth Zimmerman was not sitting there.
She's the author of this book.
Yes. So
okay, that makes sense.
The lovely lady at the yarn shop, and she was talking, and there were a few women there, and it's just totally enjoyable to sit and visit with them. I did not realize how much time had passed. And we're talking about fiber festivals and different things to go to, because I haven't been a part of any of those. From Alaska, there wasn't a whole lot of that. And then we moved here, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to get to go do all these things. And where we live, I could drive to Oregon or Washington or Utah or California, or I can drive to these areas that other states that have amazing fiber festivals. I'm not limited to the state I live in, which was the case in Alaska.
Yeah, it kind of feels like claustrophobic a little bit, because you can't leave Alaska unless
You got at least a 3-hour flight.
At least.
Or drive.
Or a 3 to 5 day drive through Canada.
Yeah, so I was really excited to be able to come down and do some of those things, but we moved here just at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
So everything has shut down. So anyway, I do have one of Elizabeth's book, and it has come highly recommended to me. So based on, and you know who you are, based on that conversation, I'm super excited about this book, and I will be looking at it. But she's telling me, this lovely lady in the yarn shop is telling me about this gentleman who was at one of the fiber retreat festivals, and at his booth, he would take old spinning wheels and refurbish them. Well, I've never gotten into spinning. So I asked this woman that I'm chatting with, so do you spin as well? And she's like, oh yeah, the yarn shop carries some of my hand spun yarn. And I was like, what? So I've never knit with hand spun yarn. So I went over and I got 2 DK weight skeins.
Did she hand spin
She
it?
spun this. Like,
Wow.
it was a fuzzy bat of fuzz.
Yeah.
And she made yarn out of it on her
awesome.
spinning wheel. Look at that.
That's really pretty.
So it's 60% blue-faced Leicester, 40% bamboo, 248 yards, 115 grams. But look at that color, you guys.
What does that remind me of? That reminds me of okay, so the first thing that comes to mind, so Alice in Wonderland. The whenever she's super small, and then like the flowers that they talk and everything. It reminds me of like
one of those flowers.
One of those flowers, like the colors.
Okay.
It's really pretty.
That's
just what comes to my head.
Okay, I didn't want to taint that thought with what I was getting ready to say.
What?
So in one of my Zoom meetings, somebody else said, "Oh, you know what I think of?" And I was afraid if I told you what they thought of, you were going to lose your thought.
Oh, what?
The embers at the bottom of a campfire.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just beautiful. So this, and I didn't know what weight it is. The tag didn't say, but Caroline from Aria Bark Designs is part of this, another one of my Zoom groups that I participate in. And she's like, oh, well, if you take the yarn and you wrap it around, was it Caroline? I'm not sure now. I know Caroline's the one that actually, once I wrapped it, she looked it up for me. But I didn't know that. You could take the strand of your yarn and you have a thick ruler, like a solid ruler, and you wrap it around so the strands are, flush with one another, no overlapping. And then you count how many strands are in an inch. Okay, how many strands does it take to fill up an inch on that ruler? And then there's a website. I don't know what it is because Caroline looked it up for me. And depending on the number of strands that appear in an inch, it will tell you, that website will tell you what weight of yarn it is. So this is DK weight. So I got some DK weight. And I also got this skein, which is superwash merino, 300 yards, 114 grams.
So did that viewer walk up to you like, hey?
Oh, no, she and I have chatted a few times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She and I have chatted a few times. And she's, I had mentioned the book that I got at Christmas for double knitting. You got it. You got it. The double knitting book that I got. And she and I had chatted at the yarn shop a few days before about double knitting and, or about introductions. We had met at the yarn shop a few days before. And then I got this book and she commented, oh, the author of that book.
So Elizabeth?
No.
Zimmer. Okay.
Different book. The author of the double knitting book is her father's aunt and is local.
Oh, what?
Yeah, she's a local lady. And because she's local, that's why I wanted her book.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, I had ironically just met one of her family members at the yarn shop. And so yes, while I was there, I also got some of these cute little stitch markers. I don't know if you can see the little animal faces on there.
looks really pretty.
But I've been looking for some more stitch markers that have just the ring where there's no place for it to catch. So anyway, I am glad that I gave you guys a forewarning that this was going to be a wordy one, because I can see myself talking a lot today. So that's it for new acquisitions. I'm going to move your yarn bag so you don't accidentally knock the tripod.
Okay.
So next we're going to talk about some whips. I had a cast on party. I turned the Zoom room on. I logged into Zoom at 10:30 our time. 10:30 a.m. our time. Well, at 5 a.m. I had woke up and I was laying in bed, I very much wanting to go back to sleep. But I woke up, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I pull out my phone and I'm looking at my phone. I have all this stuff going on Instagram. And one of the lovely ladies that participates in another Zoom lives in the UK. There were several people. They were really excited about the cast on party, but 10:30 my time is significantly later in the day for them. And they were just like, we're going to have a pre-party party. And one of the women opened up her Zoom room and they started casting on and just enjoying their entire day before my cast on party, because mine started at 10:30 in the morning, but that's 5:30 in the evening their time. So they got together beforehand. I had all this chatter on Instagram. Everybody was so excited to be casting on new projects. And I was so tempted just to log into Zoom and say, good morning.
Yeah.
But I was going back to sleep. And so I got up, logged into Zoom at 10:30 in the morning, stayed online all day. Okay. I turned off Zoom and I had one woman still in there with me after midnight.
Holy smokes.
Yeah. It was such a fantastic day.
It's 14 hours of just knitting.
Oh, it was more than just knitting. There were, that feels so good.
It really did.
There were 2 recipes sent out to people. We were chatting about just stuff. It was such a great time. And at no point in time was I the only one there. There was one woman who logged in with me and she was the last one to leave.
Oh, wow.
My mom logged in and spent the majority of the day with us.
Nice.
I had one lady, one lovely lady. She was one of the first ones. She lives in Scotland and she was one of the first ones to go to bed. Like, I'm an early to bed kind of gal. And she went to bed and we cracked a joke, you know, about, well, you're going to bed early, so you'll be up early and we might still be on. Well, they were having all those storms over there last weekend and she got woke up at 4:15 in the morning her time.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who was still casting on?
You.
She logged back on and sat and knit with us for like another hour. I mean, it was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's talk about some whips.
Whips.
First one, I'm just grabbing. This is in absolutely no particular order. I dropped a lot of my yarn. I dug through my stash. I pulled out projects, and I had other people pick the yarn. I had other people pick projects. I did not know what I was casting on. I just knew I needed some more stuff in project bags. So this project, if you've watched us, has made an appearance before. It is by Woolly Wormhead. It's called Shadowed.
Oh, I think I remember you.
Yep, yeah. It's a hat.
I think you made 2 of those so far.
I haven't made any of these yet.
Oh, it's the cowl.
So it's called Shadowed. It's by Woolly Wormhead.
Yeah, I was thinking of the cowl.
It was kind of tough to find, but if you go to their website, they have patterns, they have hats, they have slouchy hats, they have free patterns. This is in their free pattern free pattern section. And I just fell in love with that. I mean, that's just stunning. I love that. And their hats are constructed a little differently. So you start here at the brim and you work towards the crown, and your rows go like this. Okay. And you do a provisional cast on. It's just a lot of, I had heard that they were that was highly addictive once you got going. I hit row 9 and I'm like, where did I go wrong? And I was like, okay, I knit the row. My stitch count was off. It had been spot on all the way up to row 9. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, why am I having a hard time with this row? I was like, maybe there's a mistake in the pattern. So I went back and I looked to see if there had been corrections. And the website did not show any corrections on that row. And I'm like, I tinked back, I took it out, and I did it again. And I had the stitch pattern in my head. It was, you know, knit 3, slip 1, knit 1, twice, and then knit 1. So I was knitting 3, slip 1, knit 1, knit 3, slip 1, knit 1, and then slip the final one. Anyway, they, you know, when you have repeats, they have the brackets. I understand that, and I understand inside this brackets, you might have more brackets, right? Where what was inside the inner bracket said twice, and I was like completely missing this bracket. So it said knit 3, slip 1, knit 1, twice. So I was then going back, knit 3, slip 1, knit 1, that's my second one, and then I had to slip another one. And I was like, what is happening? Well, I wasn't supposed to be knitting those first 3 twice. Anyway,
So
I'll show you. It's right here.
well,
So
no, you're explaining that, and for us who are very new at knitting, or
Yeah.
we are just not really
yeah.
understanding that whole that whole knitting lingo.
Mm-hmm. This looks like a whole other language to you, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show you. It's like a math equation that you would have seen.
Okay.
And if you guys
Math
just...
math is not my forte.
So give me just 1 minute while I explain this to him. So you see how it says to knit 3.
Yeah, the K3.
Yeah. Slip 1.
Okay.
Knit 1.
Yeah.
Twice.
Okay.
So I was going
So
back.
you have to do that, and then you do that in the parentheses twice.
Yes.
Okay.
But I wasn't seeing that parenthesis. So I was knitting 3, slip 1, knit 1. It says twice, so I was going back, knitting 3, slip 1, knit 1.
Gotcha.
That's what I was doing wrong.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So anyway, needless to say, it took, I was chatting with Caroline. I did a lot of chatting with Caroline this week. That was kind of cool.
She's a cool gal.
She's a neat lady.
Yeah.
And she's full of information. But she pulled it up. I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go to the knitting shop. I have one pattern I'm really struggling with. It's just one row. She's like, well, what is it? And she's over in Scotland pulling up her pattern, and she looks at it and she starts saying what it was. Well, because I had knit it so many times, in my mind, I remembered what I had been knitting. And as soon as she said what I should have been knitting, I'm like, well, wait a minute, that's not what I was doing. Let me go back and look. She cleared it up for me in less than 45 seconds.
So you didn't understand.
I was
Well, I saw it and I got it the first time because it said twice, and I was like, so you're gonna do this in parentheses twice?
Yes.
But you didn't.
I completely did not see that bracket there.
Okay.
That little.
That makes sense. Okay. So you were thinking the same thing that I was thinking, just you didn't see.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So anyway, lots of chit chat about that. But I have found, and I'm going to use this page because it's a free pattern on their website. But if you look, it is row, and I'm not going to hold it too close, but it is lots of, and each line is a row. And so I have it on a metal board with a magnet, and I'm just sliding my thing, and super handy. Like, I zipped through that. Once Caroline was like, oh, you just need to do this. I think it took me less than 45 minutes to get the next 36 rows in because they're short rows. Anyway.
Wait, so is this a free pattern?
Yeah, it's a free pattern.
Oh, so it doesn't really matter if, okay.
So the yarn, this is knit on a US 3, I believe. Yep, US 3. And the yarn that I'm using this light purple.
Ball hugger.
In my ball hugger. I'm using this light purple. And this is Harvest Fingering Extra Fine Merino by Earth Yarns, URTH. It's made in Turkey. The color is called Blueberry. There's 435 yards in 100 grams. So this is the lighter color. I'm using this as my main color. So when I look at the pattern, my main color is this blueberry. And this is some that I got from that garage sale last year that I went to. I'm not showing that just yet.
Okay. Well, no, I was looking at, so what is this? Because you had this on my...
That's a provisional cast on. So when you cast on using a crochet. The way I did my provisional, I used a crochet hook. And then I'm going to take this brown off. And I'll have live stitches still here. And when I get to it, I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then the dark purple that I'm using is this one here. And this is Leo and Roxy Basics, 75% merino, 25% nylon, 100% good vibes. The colorway is antique. I guess I can show you. There you go. Upside down, sorry. So that one is 465 yards and 100 grams. And I didn't show you the label for Earth Yarns. Sorry about that. There you go. Knit one, planet one. Earth Yarns plants a tree in Africa for each skein sold in partnership with Trees for the Future. When people learn how to give back to the land gives back to them.
Wow.
So that's pretty great.
That was really awesome.
And again, that's the lighter purple. And with this pattern, you have a 36 row repeat. And you have to, with the size I'm making, I need to repeat it 9 times. So I've completed my first repeat. How cool!
It's 36 rows?
That's 36 rows, yep.
Oh, wow.
So here, this will be the brim of the hat, and it's gonna...
Oh, so it's going...
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So you do the provisional cast on, so when you do the 9 repeats, you can then do a Kitchener stitch, because you can pick those up and they'll be live again.
Kitchener?
It's a type of stitch where you sew 2 ends together and it looks seamless. It'll look like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did I say that right? Kitchener?
Yep, Kitchener.
Okay.
So that was one whip.
One whip.
And you guys, this is a really fun project. And
that's the bag I was using.
It is the bag.
Is it a little stretched out?
No, it's doing just fine. This is a really fun one to work on.
Okay, really quick.
Yeah.
That wasn't it. I was using that bag for my blanket, and can I see that bag? Because I want to show. So I was using this bag for my blanket, and then a skein. So it was really full, and it was stretching out, and so yeah.
Okay.
Then my grandma came in clutch.
Yeah, she gave you a new one.
She didn't give me one. She made one.
It. Yes, she did.
So while I was up there visiting, she asked me. She's like, "So what colors do you want?" And she started making it while I was up there. And and so yeah. So I was like, okay, well, I kind of want this one to be the outside and this color to be on the inside, and I think there's like 3 different colors.
Yep. So no, the bag has been salvaged. I'm reusing it. Okay, so the next whip I'm going to talk about is by Tanis Fiber Arts. It is her Rocket Tee. I did do this one previously, but I did the DK version. I am now doing the fingering version. Gotcha. And I'm using 3 different colors. I'm using this one here, which is a Plucky Knitter. It was a one-hit wonder, so this is a $10 skein, you guys. I love her grab bags when she has them. This is on her feet base, which is superwash merino and nylon. I am using this one. Oh, trying to get the tag here. And this is Blue Moon Fiber Arts. And this is 100% superwash merino lightweight, 360 yards. Blue Moon Fiber Arts. I'm not seeing, colorway is Apple Valley Road. It's 360 yards. The third color I'm using, which I haven't put in the sweater yet, is another Plucky Knitter one-hit wonder. And her one-hit wonders don't have a colorway name. Okay, so that is also on her feet base, which is the superwash merino nylon. Now, what I'm doing with this one is, let me get these back in here, is I'm striping it. I will be striping it. As you can see, I've just started. And I am not counting how many rows I'm doing with each stripe. What I am doing is just like with my shipwreck shawl, I'm using the cards to pick random numbers for where I put my beads. So I got a deck of cards. I took out all of the numbers that were lower than 4. So 4 to 10, I got rid of all the face cards. And then I'm just gonna pull a card and see how many rows I'm gonna do with that next color. Then I'll do it, and that's how I'm gonna do the entire sweater. I don't want uniform stripes. Needed.
That was very well needed.
That was a good stretch.
It was.
Okay, so I am thoroughly enjoying this. When I was picking this pattern, I knew I wanted to one day do a Rocket Tee and fingering. And I was like, okay, you guys, what do you think about this? And I dumped out all of my yarn. I didn't dump it out. It was already out on the table. And I was like, okay, you guys, I don't know what colors to use. Pretty much everything on my table was fingering, so anything was game. And Denise with Dear Designs podcast was on as well, and she's like, she just said pink. She looked at there and she's like, pink. So I started pulling all the pink ones, and then people were helping me pick the colors. And so this was totally a group effort as far as color picking. And I loved the fact I didn't have to think. And I'm super excited about it.
So in case you want to look her up on YouTube, Denise's podcast.
I'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put it on the screen.
Yeah. because it's like the animal.
Yeah, it's spelt like the animal. Okay. The next
Whips.
whip
I know
is...
that's not how you're supposed to pronounce it, but it's just, every time I see it, it's just whip.
So the next one is the ranunculus.
Ranunculus. Oh, okay, really quick. The fingering, rocket T, is that like gonna take a little bit longer because the thread is thinner?
Yes.
Okay.
I expect that one to take me a bit longer.
Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't sure.
Yep. And more stitches and more yarn.
Yeah, more stitches.
So,
well, if it's thinner, it's gonna take more.
Yep. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So, the next one I'm doing is the ranunculus, which lots of folks have done. You can do it in so many different weights of yarn. But one of the great things about this one is you can do it with one skein. I did not have the right needle size that I needed for this. And so a friend of mine locally said, oh, I've got that size in my Likey interchangeable set. So she loaned me her interchangeable set, and let me tell you, feel that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, smooth like butter. These needles are pretty amazing. So this is the progress that I've made on my ranunculus. Very excited about that. Not that you can see a whole lot of it, but that's the progress that I've made. The yarn I'm using is Plucky Knitter, but this is her luster fingering base, Superwash Merino, Silk, and Yak. It is so silky. Feel that.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's super nice. It's obviously quite lacy. I mean, you're gonna wear something underneath this. And this collar, I made the larger one. It's gonna rest a little more open, maybe like on my collarbone is what I'm envisioning, but I'm gonna have a shirt on underneath it. So super grateful to the local friend who loaned me her Likey set. These are some amazing needles. Like the tip, look at that tip. It's gorgeous. It's super sharp. I like my lace tips. This.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Is that
turned? Let me help you.
This is why you got into it, was because if I had an issue, you'd want to know how to fix it, and you did not realize that you would get this involved.
No, I did not. So that is a stitch that didn't get stitched.
Oh, nice. I'm glad that I caught it just in time.
And there you go. Now you can knit that one. Yeah, perfect.
Sweet.
Yeah. So yes.
Yeah, instead of seeing like, oh shoot, I messed up, and it's like down here, I caught it like right.
Yes, you did.
Sweet.
So yes, I am very grateful to my friend for letting me use these interchangeable sets. This will be one of the top priority ones to finish, just so I can return those to her. But this is an amazing needle set and super quick. This project has been super speedy quick. Okay, so working on the ranunculus. So that's 3 whips down. The next one is a hat that so many people have done. It's the Muscle Burrow. I had this in my favorites, and lovely Jane, I held it up and she absolutely chose this color. No idea who I'm making it for, but I knew I wanted to make one.
Oh, you make it for me.
You'll wear it?
I will
well,
wear it.
The one thing, I've put this one down. I worked on this the first day, and I put it down because I was kind of on the fence. These stitches are very, very tight. I'm doing this on a US 2. Okay, so you can kind of see what it's looking like. A US 2. And I don't mind the DPNs, but these stitches are so tight. I wanted to take it into the yarn shop and ask somebody, you know, who has seen a few of these, is this too tight? So I am going to take this out. I purchased some new US 3s. I don't have 3s. I don't have a size US 3 in my DPN set. So I do now. And I'm going to use those to restart this Musselburgh hat. Absolutely though, absolutely love the color that's coming up as though. That is so fun. It makes me think of denim. Jeans.
Yeah. Or with the jacket.
Yep. The yarn I'm using for this one again is Blue Moon Fiber Arts.
Oh, I was thinking of corduroy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, denim. It's like the jeans, and there are some like jackets, but
yep.
Yeah, but I was thinking of corduroy, or it's like one. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Denim.
Denim.
So Blue Moon Fiber Arts. This is colorway in the navy. It is. Let's see if it gives me yardage here. Yep, 360 yards. And you know, one of the great things about casting on with everybody is as I'm choosing this pattern, somebody else says, hey, little tip, when you get to this point in the pattern, weigh your yarn. So if you are familiar with Musselburgh, you know you start at the crown and you work your way down in a great big tube, and then you start your decreases. And she's like, hey, when you get to this point in the pattern, make sure you weigh your yarn, because then you'll know when you have that much yarn left, you'll know to start your decreases. I wouldn't have thought to do that had I been casting on by myself. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that. I mean, it's just another little benefit of this community and all the great people that we're meeting.
I really like it because over a year ago, whenever we started this channel, we were before we started this, you said, hey Anthony, I was thinking about starting a YouTube channel because, you know, we're new down here, COVID hit, and you know, people can't really gather, but you know, they can gather on, you know, you could meet people on YouTube, and you could be a part of a community, and that is exactly what's happening.
It's been amazing.
It really
I
has.
have thoroughly enjoyed myself. So this whip. Nelia Scarf and Wrap by Amba O'Brien. Okay, so this project, how this came up was
So this right here.
It's just a wrap on a mannequin.
But
It's because the picture, it's just split. Just the
okay.
photo was split.
At first I thought that it was like a drawing.
No, it's an actual photograph. He's talking about this line right here on that photo. So with this one, as I had put all of my yarn out on that table, I came across this yarn. And as I said, my mom was on, well, this is sea silk. 70% silk, 30% sea cell. Okay. This is by Handmaiden. And I was like, I want to do something with this yarn, but I don't know what to do with this yarn. So people started throwing out patterns. I was looking them up on Ravelry, and this is the one I was like, you know, I could totally make a silk wrap because my mom can't make wool or wear wool. And I was like, I could totally make a silk wrap for my mother. So this is the yarn that I'm using. I have 2 skeins of it. It is glorious. Okay. I'm so pleased. And it's obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, I guess there's some folks that may not enjoy working with silk, but this has been so lovely to work with. I mean, it is truly silky smooth. It's been so fun to work with. Yeah, loving it. Absolutely loving this project. I wish I could remember who suggested this pattern. I don't remember because there were so many being tossed out. I do not recall who suggested that one. Then my final new cast on is called the Chill Cat Cowl. There you go.
Do you think that if you were to cast on one of those and then just work for that entire cast on party, you could start it and finish it in the same?
Not during the cast on party, I don't think so.
Like if you just casted one thing on and you just worked straight through.
Maybe if it was a hat. Maybe I could do a hat, but none of these other ones. So the Chill Cat Cowl.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this.
Like a hoodie and like a.
It's not a hoodie though. It's just a tube.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So there we go. Chill, and I'm not showing the whole thing because I don't want to. I've got names written over on the other side with notes as far as who threw them out there. So a local friend of mine, again, I don't know if she wants me to mention her name, so I won't. She said, hey, you know, I had bought this kit for this cowl. So she recommended this pattern. And she said, you know, I got this kit and I started it. She's more confident in her crocheting. I think she said she's been crocheting for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. You're welcome to correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie. And she's been knitting for 3. And she said she got this kit a while ago and started it and was like, oh, not quite ready for this project. So she put it away. I think she said the yarn was caked up. I want to say she had already attempted casting on, but she put it away and said, okay, I'm going to attempt this down the road when I have a little bit more experience under my belt. So she had this kit, and another one of my friends was, as we were talking later, had said, you know, that is a teaching pattern. So there's lots of new techniques and being brought into that pattern. So as I started this, this friend of mine who had the kit, as well as another friend who was on there all day long, helped me choose the colors. And it does have a provisional cast on. And the very first section is stripes. Okay. Mm-hmm. And one of the techniques in here, was the provisional cast on and stripes.
No.
Did you get it?
No.
Okay. And stripes. And the very first section has you doing something else that I had never done before.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
That is a pucker factor right there.
So anyway, I'm learning stuff with this pattern. That's as far as I've gotten. This brown down here is my provisional cast on. But the colors that I'm using are this one here. So this next one is, so the colors are Hedgehog Fibers, and this colorway is called Ghost. It's a pretty light purple. 365 meters, blue face Leicester, and nylon. So that's the first color that I'm using in here. The next one look at that, Blue Savannah. Colorway is called You Heartbreaker. And this is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 450 yards. Blue Savannah. Whoopsie. Sorry about that. Ball band down. Ball band down.
Ball band.
Okay. And the final color, which is my favorite. I cannot wait for this one to make a more dramatic appearance in this cowl, because this color is gorgeous.
Kind of like royal purple.
With black.
Yeah.
This also is Blue Savannah. This is, the colorway is called Lavana. 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, and 10% nylon. Holy smokes, I love that color. It is so beautiful. Ugh. So that is it for new cast-ons, you guys. What I ultimately ended up with pulling out was 12 skeins of yarn out of my stash. I have 12 skeins of yarn in project bags at this time, new projects. And I have so many fun ones I'm working on now. There's nothing in here that I'm like, oh, I really should rethink that one. They are all fun. I'm having a great time. I have a tiny confession. I'm already thinking about what else I want to cast on.
All right.
But I'm not casting on anything until our next cast on party.
Okay.
Okay? Because it's like, I know, and that's going to be 8 weeks. So I'll know I have 8 weeks to work on all of these fun ones. And in my mind, I know, okay, but then I can cast on this. And then I can cast on this. I already know when I can cast it on.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that'll help me stay focused. The other project I did work on this week is my shipwreck. It's going to look very similar to how you saw it last time. However, it's just going to have a few more rows of lacy beadwork. Okay. And this, I mean, I've got all the inside of this project done. You can't really see it. I'm so sorry. But the whole outside of this project is, the rest of it is just this webbing with beads. And I will be changing colors of beads as it gets further out. So this is the shipwreck shawl. I am using cards to determine the placement. Yeah, the placement of the beads. Can you see that? Should I take it out of the plastic? That's just beautiful. So if you look at how much of that webbing there is. I'm just way up here. But this is a really fun one too. And I am just, so you want me to tell you how I've been doing it?
Like with the cards?
No, but with working on my projects.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so I have this table over here behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a table over here in this corner.
Mm-hmm.
And all of my projects are sitting on this table. I go and grab a project and I just knit on it until I'm bored.
Until you're bored?
Until it's like, it might be an hour. It might be 4 hours. Just knitting on that one. Mm-hmm. And then when I'm done, I put it on this table and then I get another one. And then once everything is off of this table, I start emptying that table, and I'll take one and work on it and then put it back over there. And so the bags are just rotating between these two tables because I can't decide which one to work on. They are all so fun. So yeah, and then the other really exciting news, if you guys have watched me, you'll know about my blue bag of needles. I have had all of my needles kept in this blue medical canvas bag. And yesterday, I don't know if it was my daughter or my dog, but a Red Bull Italian soda. So I had raspberry syrup and cream and Red Bull in a big frothy cup with a straw. And it got knocked off my coffee table, all over my floor and my wall and my blue bag of needles. I said, okay, it's all I needed. So my needles are now being stored in my Blue October bag. Blue October was the concert I went to last November with my brother. And I bought one of everything at their souvenir table. And I now have a fantastic purpose for that bag. So that's it for my whips that I'm working on, you guys. And next we can talk about activities.
Well, I want to talk about my whip first.
Would you talk about your whip? I always forget that. That's why I don't like you going last.
Well, I've always gone last.
Oh, I know. I forgot.
Okay, now, because my project is not very exciting.
It's very exciting.
It's very I'm talking about the progress.
Oh.
The progress. And so since we started today, gotten that far into it, and yeah, but I've gotten pretty far with the blanket.
You want me to hold this side over?
Okay.
You can spread it out a little bit.
Yeah. So I've gotten pretty decently far on it.
Mm-hmm. It looks great.
Yeah, I'm almost done with my second skein. Where is it? Oh, okay. I'm almost done with my second skein.
Mm-hmm. I am looking at this, and your tension, like how even all of your stitches are, is so consistent. It looks beautiful. I mean, look at that. He's doing amazing.
Yeah, you're right.
That's fantastic, Bubs.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, go on. You can keep talking. Sorry I interrupted.
No, it's all good. Just don't let it happen again. No, I'm just joking. I say that to my mom every once in a while. I say it to kind of
everybody.
Not strangers, but like just family members, and they know I'm joking. But yeah.
What size needle? We have new viewers.
Yes.
What size needles?
We have new viewers.
Yay!
New subscribers. Okay, so this thread, it is Bernay. It's a Bernay blanket. It's 100% polyester, and it is it's 10.5 ounces and 220 yards. You can see right there. And the needle is 8mm but US 11, and
What's the yarn color?
the yarn color is Blue Fog Twist.
Yep.
And so there's some white in there and some light blue.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I saw it and I was just like,
I am
that's
just
the
so
one.
impressed at your consistency with your tension, bud.
oh, thank you.
Yeah. So,
And
are you enjoying it? Do you see good progress? Are you feeling good about? I mean, you've done all of that.
I've been actually thinking, and because remember I was saying I don't know who I'm making it for. I think that whenever I'm done, I'm gonna donate it to I'm not too sure, like a homeless shelter, or like a hospital, or
You had mentioned doing some donation knitting, and you had talked about doing some hats on the knitting machine.
yeah. So I think I'm gonna donate this. And I was gonna say, let me know, like give me some like let me know what like where I should, donate this to.
Yeah. So if somebody's local watching and they know
yeah,
of
exactly.
yeah.
Boise, Idaho. That's where we're at.
Yep.
And
places that accept donations like this.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. No, so if you just kind of give me some ideas, because I do know that I want to donate it. Just kind of spitball some ideas out there, and I will decide from there. And I will let you guys know. Now it's gonna take a minute for me to finish,
and that's okay.
Yeah, no, but but yeah, just kind of just put some ideas out there, and
yeah.
So that's my whip, and
so I think that's all for whips.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some activities going on. Caroline with Aria Barks has a group called Yappy and Scrappy, and it's a Scrappy blanket make-along. It is on Ravelry. If you want more information on that, go check her out at Aria Bark Designs. I do have a Scrappy blanket that I have been working on. I need to post some pictures on there, but I am participating in that make-along because I do want to keep working on that granny stripe blanket that I have. The other thing I have going on is the mystery knit along for Lent through McPurley. I'll put her website up here. I just got introduced to her YouTube. What was her name? McPurley. Knitty McPurley. That's what it was. Knitty McPurley. And she's having a mystery knit along for Lent where you need 40 10-gram minis, and you get your first clue and it covers the first 10 days. And so each day you're knitting 10 grams. And after 10 days, you're going to get your next clue that covers the next 10 days. So I'm really excited to participate in that one.
I'm really excited for you because you are really excited.
I am. And then the other activity that I want to talk about is April 16th, which is 7 weeks from tomorrow, because we're filming this on February 25th, which is Friday. So 7 weeks tomorrow, we are going to do another cast-on party. And I'm so excited.
But what time?
It'll probably be the same time. There's no end time, but I will open the room at 10:30. And probably the same type of thing. I may have ideas on what I want to cast on. I know this sounds like a really big one, but Slipstravaganza blanket is coming to mind. So yeah, there's some stuff coming up I'm super excited about. We're going to have some prizes at the next cast on party, because what's a party without party favors, right? And you're on Zoom and you can't meet in person, but I think we need some party favors at the next one. So
Yeah.
we're going to do some of
There you
that
go.
sort of stuff. But yeah, goals. You're not setting goals anymore.
No.
All right.
I did, and I met all of those goals.
Yes, you did.
But while I was knitting, I was just thinking, I was like, why? Like, I wasn't enjoying it as much as, you know, me just knitting to knit. I feel like I was knitting because I had a deadline and I had to get so much done. And that's me personally, I know you enjoy that, but I don't enjoy that.
Yeah.
And I don't want this hobby to become a chore.
Right.
And
I second that. I fully support you in that.
Yes, thank
Absolutely.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And yeah, but earlier I've realized that I still have a little bit of makeup right here, because
Oh my.
yeah. Yeah.
Can I include that picture that you sent me yesterday?
Yes, you can.
So Anthony's sister, 6-year-old sister, did his makeup. Do you have that picture?
No.
You took a picture?
Not too sure.
Okay. If he has that picture, I'll include it. Well, apparently it started a thing. Because then Anthony's friend was here, and Alex, 6-year-old little sister, asked the friend to do her makeup. So the friend did Alex's makeup for her. Well, last night I got a text from Anthony that says, hey, you remember when Alex did my makeup? And I'm like, okay. I don't know if I remember specifically where all the hot pink and the bright blue were, but I do remember that she did your makeup. And next thing I got was a picture of Anthony.
All dolled up.
Yes, I will include that one.
I think you can I know it's on this side or right here. It was really difficult to get all of that off.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's what we did. I'll put some pictures into that. So goals.
Goals.
I'm going to have the goal of having at least one FO next week. I can't tell you which one it's going to be because I'm enjoying knitting on every one of these, but I do want to have an FO next week, a single FO. And that's what I've got for goals. As far as life stuff, how has your week been?
It's been really good.
Yes.
It's been very good. How's your week been?
You know, we had a rough couple.
Yes.
We did. But this week, we had a little residual stuff that we had to take care of, but it felt so good because we were like on the same page. We had some great productive, it's just been it's been a good week. It's been wonderful and it's felt good. Yeah, I had a really great week.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else for life stuff. I think that's it. Anything else from you?
Thinking. I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right. Well, then we'll see you guys in about a week. If you enjoyed the content today, if you'd hit the like button down below, and if you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button.
I want you to sneak up to that like button. I want you to sneak up to it. I want you to cover its eyes. Say, guess who? And then just punch it. Just punch it. And if you feel so
inclined,
if you feel so inclined, there's this little like button.
You hit the like button. You just punched it.
No, I'm talking about the subscribe button. You just ever so delicately just
It's all it takes.
Just a little bit.
All it takes.
All it takes.
You will get more content just like this.
Exactly.
If that is not something you desire.
No. And if you really want to go an extra mile, whenever you punch that like button or that subscribe button, you could even have it tell you
Notifications.
every notification, every time that we upload, it'll tell you. So that's if you feel so inclined.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, then
that's
you're
okay.
You're missing out. You're really missing out. But
Okay.
it's just because we got like couples. We got some sparkling personalities right here. And
it's been fun though because I get the notifications when we have new subscribers, and it's like, wow, that's my big thing is it's like, wow, there's that many people that want to see us again.
Yeah.
And I just think that's amazing, and it's exactly what we wanted was a little community where we can visit and get to know folks that enjoy the same type of pastimes that we do.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, we will see you guys in about a week. I hope you are all doing great and you get to find the time to do the stuff that puts a smile on your face. So, bye.
Goodbye.